I'm here with Timothy Ferriss, who's the author of the new bestseller for our Workweek. And Tim has just come off the stage at the new Internet. We're here in Reston, Virginia. And Tim, you mentioned on stage, and also it's one of the most interesting ideas in your book, this idea of cultivating selective ignorance. And what does that mean? You've tapped into something here. Is it people's hunger for less interruption, for more time for contemplation, for the old days, for no cell phones, no voice recorders? What's going on here?
Well, I think that in a digital world, the default mode is essentially infinite interruption and minutia. So with new modes of communication, certainly with faster access, the ability to simulate forward motion without accomplishing anything, or the ability for others to interrupt you and manufacture emergencies to make themselves feel as though they're accomplishing something is very, very common. And cultivating selective ignorance is really developing the ability to single task and not only identify but then act on the critical few things while pushing off or completely eliminating the trivial many. And it's really the only alternative that I can see to the results by volume approach, which is doing more work, taking more time, responding more quickly. There's a finite limit to what can be done there. You can't continue to add hours indefinitely. You can't continue to answer email. 27% of BlackBerry users answer email or check it every 5 minutes. So what's next? 3, 2, 1, every half a minute, every 10 seconds. It gets to a point where these tools start completely paralyzing any ability to execute. And I think that I'm far from being alone in thinking about these things, but I think the book made it clear that to most people they're not alone. If they feel this sense of exasperation and low-grade anxiety on a daily basis due to this information deluge and feeling of being unable to step off of that treadmill of information intake, there are millions of people who feel the same way, and they're at all levels of companies and corporations, all the way up to some of the most successful Fortune 500 CEOs I've spoken with. They feel the same way, but there hasn't been a collective voice to make that clear before that I'm aware of.
So you think, and really that's sort of what you're tapping into, making that a battle cry, because my question to you is, it's so hard to do. As you were speaking to this room of, I don't know, 600 people or something just now, someone stood up and asked you a question, noted that probably 1/3 of them, and I could see them sitting next to me, were checking their BlackBerries while you were speaking. So it's so hard to do this.
It is
stop.
Hard. And I don't want to paint a picture where I'm saying it's easy to get to, let's just say hypothetically, a 20-hour work week or 4-hour work week. It's very simple. So there are very specific approaches and very specific techniques you can use, but they run counter to what most people are doing, and as such they make most people very uncomfortable. The good news is that you can test many of these approaches on a very limited basis with very little risk, but the idea of not checking email until 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. is terrifying for many people. So as a result, they say, you're full of crap, that would never work, and they end it at that, because if they accept that it's possible and then they don't do it, they have to be held accountable. And for people looking for alternative options who are willing to measure their results instead of activity, which again is a real eye-opener, you are holding yourself 100% accountable, it is fully possible, and there are hundreds and thousands of people doing this, to cut your workload down 60-70% without sacrificing income. And that's not speculation. This is case studies, this is research. Thousands of people around the world now who have been using the book, but I think I'm just saying what most people have on their mind. That's it. And I make no claim to have all the answers. I certainly don't. But I think that the results by volume approach is so unscalable that there has to be another alternative. There has to be, because it's completely unsustainable.
Tim, thanks so much. I think I'm about to run out of batteries here. Congratulations again on your book. It's fabulous.
Thank you very much.